Well, ladies and gentlemen, the calm before the storm. I know people's bellies are rumbling. People are building up excitement, waiting for the big match tomorrow, 8 o'clock kickoff. Just over 24 hours time away for ourselves. Keith here from Command the Hoops. If this is your first time coming across the channel, what can I say? I can kindly ask, like, subscribe, comment below your score predictions, your starting lineup, because everyone's different, but we all want the same thing. We want to be playing in the Champions League in February in the playoff rounds. We haven't played knockout stage European football since 2019 when we conquered Rome. When we conquered Rome, Lazio in the group stages of Europa League. The last time we played knockout stage football in the Champions League, we're going back to 2012-13 season when we played, Juventus. Wasn't for us in them two legs, but getting to that stage, we had an iconic night at Celtic Park, the night that a lot of Celtic fans will always remember for the rest of their lives, beating Barcelona 2-1. Victor Wanyama, Tony Watt, the Butterflies, Charlie McGrew, telling me in graces, the story, just remarkable, the amount of yards he ran that night compared to Lionel Messi. But it's all about making history. Brendan Rodgers, when he came back as a Celtic manager, he was written off about his European record. He only recorded one ever victory in the Champions League, and that was against Anderlecht away. And he's changed that. We beat Slovan Bratislava in match day 1. We beat Red Bull Leipzig as well at Celtic Park. We beat Feyenoord last season in the final game as well. So we're on a bit of an unbeaten run at home. Starting to become a cauldron again, starting to feel like it's a noisy place, and it's not just about the tourist location of Celtic Park, good European night. It's about the lads turning up and getting results. It wasn't the most comprehensive result against Club Brugge, that draw against the Belgian champions that night, but we learned from their mistakes. We took a point away in Zagreb. We took a point away in Atalanta. We got smashed by Borussia Dortmund. But this is about a team that needs to turn up and be bigger men than ever. The fans are going to be on their side. It's going to be literally a coliseum tomorrow of noise. And Callum McGregor wants to be another Celtic captain to captain a team in knockout stage European football alongside the Billy McNeil, the iconic Caesar, or the Scott Brown. He has to turn up and get his team up for it. Callum McGregor has played a lot of football this season, folks. I think at times he should have been rested. Yeah, he scored the weekend, a nice goal against Kilmarnock, but this is going to another level. Yeah, winning the League Cup is fabulous against Rangers and penalties. Winning Champions League games is good. It's the best feeling you can get. Being on top of the league is good, but getting to another level just shows that Celtic are not just a pushover. When I go back to the draw in August, when Aston Villa was pulled out, I got a sick feeling in my stomach. When Atalanta was pulled out, Europa League finalists, I got a sick feeling in my stomach. When Red Bull was pulled out, I was skeptic about it. I was skeptic. I was like, we could get the 10 points to get through. It will be tough, maybe 12 points. We're on 9 points in the moment. A victory tomorrow will guarantee us through. A draw could still get us through, but going to Aston Villa, at Villa Park in 2 weeks' time, it'd be hard. It'd be hard to get a result there. Because, let's be honest, Villa are on fire this season. But young boys, they're not doing good at all. The opposition, this is their latest games. They'd had a winter break. They played a couple of pre-seasons, got beaten by Hanover, beaten by the Bulgarian side, Bucharest. They've changed their manager 3 times this season. At the moment, they're sitting 9th in the Swiss League. 9th. It's an absolute disaster for them. And yes, it's a dead rubber game, some fans might say, Swiss fans might say, young boys fans, for them, because they're bottom of the Champions League table. As recording this, they're bottom. Look at that. Look at them goals. Look at crazy. 22 goals they've conceded. 22 goals. Yes, Celtic, we've scored 10 goals this season. We have no goal difference there. We're level par. And we've scored some fabulous goals. We've defended really well in Europe. There has been games where we should have took our chances and got the 3 points at Zagreb. Should have beaten Club Brugge at home, but Club Brugge were organised. And will Brendan Rodgers, who would he start tomorrow night? I'm just going to give you my prediction I'm going to give you my prediction for the score as well, because this could be one of the biggest games, as I said, in the last 12 or 13 years. Yes, it doesn't matter about the opposition. It's about how we conduct ourselves. It's about how we play. It's not about giving that opposition too much respect. It's about being aggressive. In the last 4 or 5 weeks, a lot of fans have criticised Celtic's performances, lacklustered, not in fifth gear, third gear, too much defensive passing, not cutting teams, not breaking teams, not finishing them, all this. I think it will be all forgotten if we get through this game tomorrow and have another new edge of excitement going in, thinking Celtic could be in that pot. We could play against a fabulous team in the next round. But look, we've won this trophy in 1967, and we're a long shot away from winning it all this season. We've seen stranger things happen in football, but just to get into an extra round of Champions League, getting more finances for the club, it just shows a statement. It just shows that Brendan Rodgers wasn't just coming back for the paycheck for the 5 million season he's meant to be on. He's coming back to develop players, give us fabulous nights, like Neil Lennon did as a manager, like Gordon Strachan did, like Martin O'Neill did, like managers in the past, Jock Stein. It's about getting the players on side. See the likes of Alistair Johnson, Kasper Schmeichel, even Greg Taylor. Callum McGregor has to lead that line. James Forrest is out, as we know, but we have a fully fit squad available for selection tomorrow. So this is my starting lineup for tomorrow. Now, last night, I done a podcast, folks. I'm just going to take this picture off for a sec. I did a podcast and I said Edith to start. I've changed my mind because I have a feeling he's going to go with Kyogo anyway, but he could change. You never know. So Kasper Schmeichel, the big Dane, we all know. What can you say about Kasper Schmeichel? Love the guy. Absolutely love him. Some crucial saves already in this competition, already this season for Celtic. What a signing he's been. Unbelievable getting him from Anderlecht, of all teams. Alistair Johnston, key player, big shot. One of my favourite players in the Celtic shirt. He gets the club. He'll fight to the cause. Alex Valle on the left, because I think that Alex Valle playing on the left is because he's going to be. I think this is going to be his final game for Celtic, folks. I feel this is his final game. As we all know, there is interest from Italy, from Serie A side Como, and I think once we get over the line in the Champions League with a victory tomorrow, I think Celtic will say, you know what, you can leave at the end of this window, or you can leave this weekend, because we're going to pursue Kieran Tierney in on Monday or Friday. We'll get another left back in. Let's be honest. If Valle goes and before Tierney comes to the door, we have Liam Scales, we have Adam Montgomery, and most of all, we have Greg Taylor there. So I'm not sweating about it too much. He has played 20 games, but I'm not worrying about it too much. Austin Trusty and Carter Vickers. If I had my way, I would pick Liam Scales tomorrow instead of Trusty. Trusty played well the weekend against Kilmarnock. He had a terrific game at Dens Park. But his overall Champions League performances, I've been impressed with. So I think, rising to the occasion, he still has to prove a lot of doubters wrong. Trusty and Vickers in there. I would have sent Scales because Scales has more experience in the Champions League. But what can I say? I'm not the gaffer. I'm just a guy that calls out what I think, what I feel. Callum McGregor in there. I know some people might say Rio Atate or Bernardo, but I think Luke McCown. I've been impressed with Luke McCown when he's comes in for the big games, and even when he starts, he scores a lot. Luke McCown has been a really good signing for Celtic, and he's a future captain as well. He gets the club. He's a Celtic through and through, and I just think getting him in the big game, Champions League, growing up as a fan, seeing them big European nights, he's going to feel that energy more than most players will out there tomorrow. And I think he could absolutely be remarkable on that pitch. He could strive on that pitch, especially against a team that's dipping. If we go out there and get an early goal tomorrow, you never know, it could be a 3 or 4-0 game. But it's about having that urgency. It's about that hunger. And I know these players are going to be up for it more than ever. It's the biggest game of the season for these players. So I'll go for Luke McCown ahead of Rio Atate. I like Rio, but Rio is doing me nothing lately. And I just think he's very inconsistent at times. So McCown all day. Some people say, why not Bernardo? Bernardo's a good battler, but he looks very frustrated in the recent times in games. I think Luke McCown looks more composed. He doesn't stress out as much. You can see in his face that he's in it. So Arnie Ingles for me, I think Arnie Ingles has been impressive over the last 5 weeks. Took a lot of criticism from fans. Oh, he's not worth the price tag. Oh, he's not settling. No, he's third in this. To the fans that criticise players like that all the time, we're fucking top of the league here. We're the winning the League Cup. We're about to qualify for Champions League football, and you're still bleeding moaning. Calm down. Arnie Ingles, have to trust him. You don't. There's no point in comparing him to Matt O'Reilly. He's a different player than himself. He's different attributes, a different type of player. So yes, he suits Brendan's style of football, but just lay off him. Lay off him. Days in Maeda for energy. Look at Maeda scored a couple of times in this Champions League. I think he already has 4 goals in this competition so far, and he's been absolutely remarkable. And Nicholas Keown, we've seen him against his former club, Red Bull Leipzig. He's been absolutely class. Kieran Meister has to start. He thought he was good the weekend against Kilmarnock. Obviously hit the post and provided the assist as well. And then I'm going to go Kyogo. Now, a part of me says Ida, because I think Ida is really struggling. 13 games in all competitions without a goal. He has a Champions League goal in there this season. But I feel like if you put Ida in there with the pressure on him, he might get an early goal and might just be all forgotten about. The goal drought might just be wiped away from his head. And having that pressure on him in a big high game, match shoot is so high, he could start and he could play Kyogo on the right. But I think he's going to go with Keown and Kyogo in the middle of Maeda. So my score prediction for the game tomorrow, folks, I'm going to fancy 3-0. I don't think we're going to concede tomorrow against Young Boys. Look at Young Boys will be able to get blood. They want to get points in the Champions League. They want some sort of prize money to recuperate, but I think we should be fine. I'm going to go 3-0. I'm going to fancy Callum McGregor getting a goal, Kyogo getting a goal, and Days in Maeda. That's my prediction. So let me know in the comments what you think. Am I right? Am I wrong? Do subscribe to the channel. I'll speak to you all soon. Hell.